Alright guys, next step I'm going to go over all this icons on the screen to let you guys know what are what, and I'm going to use my pen here to kind of show you the icons. Hopefully you can see my pen. I just kind of adjusted the exposure. So the very first icon you see on the top left corner, it is a little movie icon, so that means we are currently in the video mode. Okay, so video mode represents we are going to record video. The camera has three modes: video mode, photo mode, and a playback mode. I will go over that later and I'll show you how to change the modes. The second icon that we have is it represents a loop cycle recording. Okay guys, so I'm gonna adjust the exposure again. So this one is a loop cycle recording. See how it says number 3 in there, and there's a loop around the video, so that means the loop cycle is set to 3 minutes. This means the camera is going to delete the oldest video files automatically when this memory card becomes full. So it can write over and over, loop by loop, so you don't have to manually delete your videos. 3 minutes loop cycle means that each video that this camera records is going to be split into 3 minutes each, and which allows that loop cycle function to work properly. Your options are you can set it to either 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, or 10 minutes, and you can do that by going into the video settings, and I will show you how to do that. The next icon stands for a little guy walking, and that stands for motion detection. You see how it's got a red circle on it? That means currently motion detection is off. When we turn on the motion detection, that means the motion detection is on. Remember guys, this is the most important feature that you should read in the manual. However, I'm going to tell you right now as well. Motion detection is only meant to work when the camera is not moving, when you're not driving. Remember, do not drive with the motion detection on. So it is only meant to work when your car is parked. Okay, if you drive with the motion detection on, camera will record most of the time, but if you stop at the light and if the camera stops recording because there is no more motion and someone hits you, you don't want to risk not having a video because you forgot to turn off the motion detection. So never have the motion detection on when you're driving, guys. When you're driving, you want a continuous video recording without missing a single second. All right, enough said about motion. Next one is exposure value. See how it says 0.0? So at 0.0, the camera is going to set the exposure automatically based on the light outside. If it's sunny, it's going to set the exposure just right. If it's cloudy, it's going to set the exposure a little bit higher to get a better video. Even at night, it's going to set the exposure correctly automatically. Anything besides 0.0, you can set all the way up till 2.0, plus 2.0 and minus 2.0, and camera will set exposure to that level. If you ever change it, it will not change automatically. So if you're not, I recommend that you leave it at 0.0. You don't have to worry about it. This is for some photo enthusiast who knows what they're doing and what exposure they want in certain lighting, and they can mess around with that. Feel free to play around with it if you like, but we recommend to leave it at 0.0. Next one, G sensor. This G sensor's got 3 bars underneath. It's got 3 sensing levels showing: low, medium, and high. However, inside the settings, we do give 0 to 9 options. 0 means it's off, and 1 to 9 means it's 10% increment. However, over here it's only going to represent 3. So G sensor is basically activates your parking mode based on the camera sensitivity or shakiness, or if someone hits your car, or if you ever get an accident, the camera's got an ability to lock. That current loop, and we will test that in a little bit. Okay. Next one. This is your current date. That's your current time. And we're going to start from the top here. That is, right now the video is not recording. So on the top you see it's going to record 12 hours 53 minutes 34 seconds based on the empty space in your memory card right now at 1080p at 60 frames per second resolution. That third one, guys, is total loop counter. The top one is going to be the loop counter. This is total trip counter. So this resets every time your camera restarts. So let's say you're about to make a trip for 10 hours. It's gonna count. If the camera stays on for the 10 hours, it's gonna show you 10 hours right there. If you drive for 30 minutes, it's gonna show you 30 minutes. And when you restart the camera next time, that's gonna restart. So some people like to know how long the camera has been on. So we have added that on recently. Before we didn't have it. Next one. This is your parking mode, guys. So you see how there's a little guy with a hat, and it's got it's sensing the motion, right? So if someone hits your car, then parking mode is going to get activated based on the G sensor sensitivity you have chosen. By default it's set at 5. However, based on the cars or truck or SUVs or whatever you're driving, you can just test it out, the G sensor sensitivity. So right now the red circle on this guy means parking mode is off. By default, motion detection and parking mode both are off because it's the most important feature. Do not turn on the parking mode feature when you are learning the camera, like how I'm learning it in my hand. Otherwise, every time your camera shakes when it's off, it's going to trigger the parking mode. So turn on the parking mode when after you install it in your car. All right. Next one, this is mute. It's just a microphone, so if you're driving, you could simply mute on or mute off, and I can show you how to do that. It's just by one touch pressing up button, but I'll go over on it again. But this is your microphone. At any time you're driving in your car, if you got a personal call and you don't want your voice to be recorded, you can simply press the up button once anytime while you're in the video mode. The camera will turn on the mute, and then press it again will resume the audio recording. All right. Next one, this icon represents the memory card. Right now the memory card is installed correctly, so it is showing how the memory card is installed. If it's got an X on it, that means the memory card is either bad or it is not installed. Okay, so second last one over here is a battery icon. Right now it's plugged into the power, so right now it's showing you it's plugged into the power. If it's got the bars inside the battery, that means power is not plugged in and it's running on the internal battery of the camera. All right, the last one on the top, that flashing red, that is for the GPS, guys. That means the camera is looking for a GPS signal. When it's got a GPS lock, it's gonna stop flashing red, and it's gonna have a steady GPS icon with the bar underneath. All right, guys, and the last but not least, it's your live speed. When you drive it, when you get the GPS signal, it's gonna show you what speed you're driving, guys. It's got plus or minus 1 or 2 second delay on it, but it works flawlessly. All right, here we go on the next one.